Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of FTOPS 8 Final Table Highlights. I'm Ali Najad and today we're looking at event number 14, the $200 buy-in No Limit Hold'em Turbo event hosted by Amanda Baker. 2,140 players entered the field, bringing the prize pool to $428,000. First place would walk with over 87 grand. Looking at the chip counts heading into the final table, Poker Prince and Com Hood ran neck and neck, 1 and 2. One Upon a Star had a little over 600,000, and the rest of the field had less than 10 big blinds. Blinds were at 25 and 50,000 with a 6K ante. Matt Suspect was under the gun. He had less than 5 big blinds. Over a fifth of his stack would be going in the big blind if he didn't play this pot. He would fold, however, as would Com Hood, KK Papoose, and One Upon a Star before Danny Mac shifted all in. Little over 323,000. It was folded around to Poker Prince in the big blind. Prince would call and show Ace-Jack suited against Ace-10 off. Flop was decent for Danny Mac to chop the pot, but he couldn't hit a 7 or a 5 on the end, and Poker Prince would eliminate him in 9th place. So Danny Mac would make just over $5,000 for that 9th place finish. The blinds would go up to 30 and 60,000 with a 7,500 ante. Action was folded around to I Am Jones, who shipped it. He only had about 125,000. Matt Suspect would have to call 65K and change, and he would do so with Ace-4 offsuit, dominated by I Am Jones's Ace-10. Jones would flop a pair of 10s, Suspect would turn a gut shot wheel draw and then complete it on the river, sending I Am Jones home in 8th place with $6,848. Lines and the antes remain the same for our 7 remaining players. Action was folded around to Zuzu99, who laid down as well. Chip lead a Poker Prince with over $1 million would lay down, as would Matt Suspect. Com Hood shipped it all in for $750,000, and KK Papoose called all in. Com Hood had him covered with Queen Deuce off. He would flop 2 pair, and on the turn, KK was drawn live to a king, could not hit it, and he would say goodbye in 7th place, earning almost $10,000. Lines were up to 40 and 80,000 with a 10K ante. Prince was down to under 700,000 in chips. Matt Suspect was the chip leader. He would lay it down, and it was time for Com Hood to move all in for $250,000. One Upon a Star moved all in over the top, showed Ace-Jack offsuit against Queen-4. Flop was safe, as was the turn, and on the river, Com Hood was eliminated in 6th place, making $14,552. Players were dropping like flies as only 5 remained. Lines and the antes were steady. One Upon a Star was the chip leader with almost $1.5 million. He would make it $160,000 to go, a min raise. Zuzu99 shipped it all in on the button. One Upon a Star would call and show Ace-7 offsuit against Queen-Jack off. Zuzu flopped a gut shot, turned an open ender, but couldn't hit any of his outs on the end, and One Upon a Star's Ace-High would add to his chip lead and send Zuzu home in 5th place with 22 grand. Lines and the antes still steady with only 4 players remaining. Poker Prince shipped it all in. Matt folded. Chip lead a One Upon a Star would then re-raise all in. DeucesCracked would eventually fold. One Upon a Star would show King-10 against King-9 suited. Both players flopped the king, but Poker Prince could not hit a 9 for a win or a 3 or a 6 for a chop, and One Upon a Star amassed a huge chip lead, sending Poker Prince home in 4th place with 31,000 and change. Down to 3-handed action, and the blinds up to 50 and 100,000. Antes were still 10K, and the crapshoot continued. DeucesCracked folded on the button. With less than 15 seconds left to act, Matt Suspect decided to draw a line in the sand with Jack Deuce suited. One Upon a Star called with King High and flopped the world with a flush draw and an open ender. Matt Suspect paired on the river, but it gave One Upon a Star the 6-high straight, and Matt was gone in 3rd place, making almost 42 grand. Heads up, with the blinds at 60 and 120,000 and a 15K ante, there was really only one move for Dud 7-Eleven's King 8 off, and it was to ship all in, which he did against Ace 5 off. One Upon a Star looked good on the flop, but Dud looked better on the turn as he made a pair of kings and doubled through to over 2.6 million in chips. Dud 7-Eleven slid back to 1.4 million in chips, where we pick up the action. He's all in with King Jack off against Jack 10 off and flops top pair. Both players turn the gut shot, but One Upon a Star cannot complete, and Dud 7-Eleven doubles through him again. Blinds were up to a staggering 80 and 160,000 with a 20K ante. Dud would ship it in with Ace 4 off up against Queen 9 off. He flopped fours and iced it on the turn with aces up, and One Upon a Star was left with the silver medal while Dud earned the victory. So Dud 7-Eleven would take home over $87,000, and a no doubt disappointed One Upon a Star, who had the chip lead late in the match, would take home $56,000 and change. Don't forget, the $500 No Limit Hold'em main event hosted by Jennifer Harmon is coming up on May 18th. If you'd like to qualify for that or any of our other remaining FTOPS events, simply log on to Full Tilt Poker, click the Tournaments tab, and then the Satellites tab. If you want to play a little horse with yours truly, click the Mixed Games tab and scroll down to the 8-16 table titled Ali Najad. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of FTOPS 8 Final Table Highlights. Until next time, for Full Tilt Poker, this is Ali Najad saying so long.